get that feeling like time is just speeding up, or that we're living through this crazy, unprecedented moment of crisis? Well, what if I told you that many ancient cultures believed that feeling isn't random at all? They saw it as part of a huge cosmic cycle. And that's exactly what we're going to dive into today, this idea of the Great Wheel of Time. And this quote here from Daniel Penchback, I mean, it just nails the modern condition, doesn't it? Everything is accelerating. Technology, society, the environment, it's all changing at this relentless breakneck speed. It really does feel like we're in the last scene of some epic movie, and nobody's been given the script for how it's supposed to end. And it's not just about the speed, is it? It's the intensity of it all. You look around and it feels like all these crises are converging at once. I'm talking about resource wars, the political division, the environment. It's a lot. And it creates this really powerful feeling that the world we all thought we knew is kind of coming undone at the seams. So all of this brings us to the big question, the real heart of what we're talking about today. Is all this chaos just random? Are we hurtling towards some kind of unique collapse, a dead end for our civilization? Or, and this is the fascinating part, could this all be a predictable, reoccurring phase, something ancient traditions actually mapped out thousands of years ago? Okay, so to even begin to answer that, we've got to get our heads around a really fundamental difference in how we even think about time. And this is where that idea of the Great Wheel really comes into play. You can see the two big ideas right here. On one side, you have the modern Western view. We tend to see history as a straight line, right? An arrow, just constantly moving forward, always progressing. But so many ancient cultures, we're talking Hindus, Greeks, Mayans, you name it, they saw time completely differently. For them, it was a circle, a great wheel. They believe civilizations don't just keep getting better forever. Nope, they rise to a golden age, and then they inevitably decline, only to rise all over again. All right, so to really get how this works, let's zoom in on one of the most detailed and fascinating of these cyclical systems. We're going to look at the Hindu concept of the 4 yugas. So, what in the world is a yuga cycle? Well, the easiest way to think about it is like a giant cosmic clock. But instead of measuring hours and minutes, it's measuring the collective consciousness of all humanity. It maps out this epic journey through 4 different ages, starting at this super enlightened peak, then descending down into spiritual darkness, and then eventually climbing back up again. And what's really key here is that the main measurement isn't our technology or our buildings, it's something called Dharma, which is basically our connection to truth and the cosmic order of things. And this table just lays out those 4 stages of the journey perfectly. You start at the absolute peak, the Satya Yuga, a true golden age where everyone's in harmony with spirit. From there, we descend into the Treta Yuga, the Silver Age, where humanity starts to rely more on intellect and ritual. Then you get to the Dwapara Yuga, the Bronze Age, and some people think this is where we are now, which is all about understanding energy, but also a time of growing doubt and self-interest. And finally, the cycle bottoms out in the Kali Yuga, the Iron Age, an age of pure materialism and, you guessed it, conflict. Which, of course, brings us to the most fascinating and honestly the most debated question of all. Where are we on this wheel right now? And when does this supposed dark age, the Kali Yuga, actually end? Now, you'd think for something so ancient, there'd be a clear answer, right? Well, there isn't, not even close. The concept is thousands of years old, but the actual timelines, they are fiercely debated. We're talking at least 3 major competing theories on when the Kali Yuga ends, and believe me, they could not be more different from each other. And just look at how different they are. It's kind of staggering. So one theory from a researcher named Bibhudev Misra says the end is literally right around the corner, like 2025. Then you have another view from the great sage Sri Yukteswar, who argued it already ended back around 1700 and that we're actually in an ascending energy age. And then you have the traditional view, which says, hold on, we're just getting started, with over 400,000 years of the Kalyug still left to go. I mean, wow. So what's at the heart of this huge disagreement? It really comes down to this. What defines an age? Is it about our technology or is it about our consciousness? See, some people look at our incredible technological boom, our understanding of energy and physics, and say this proves it. We're in the Dwapara Yuga. But others fire back and say, so what? Our technology means nothing if our consciousness is going backwards. They'd point to all the greed, the conflict, the disconnection from nature, and argue that those are undeniable signs we're still deep, deep in the Kali Yuga. Okay, so you can pick whichever timeline you find most convincing. But here's the really interesting part. All the sources, despite their disagreements, agree on one crucial thing. We are living in a profound time of transition, a major planetary shift. So how are we supposed to navigate it? Yeah, the message here definitely isn't to just kick back and wait for a date on the calendar. It's a call to action, because the end of an age isn't like flipping a light switch. It's more like the slow, creaking, turbulent turning of a massive ship in a storm. And what really matters is our conscious participation in that turn. And the number one tool we're given for navigating this shift is this concept of Dharma. At its simplest, you can think of it as the golden rule. You know, do unto others as you'd have them do unto you. But it's deeper than that. It's about consciously choosing actions that are rooted in compassion, in truth, in kindness. Basically aligning yourself with the higher virtues of the new age you want to see. So what does that look like in practice? Well, there are basically 3 steps. First, just try to realign with Dharma in your everyday life. Second, you've got to cultivate inner stillness. I mean, the chaos of a transitional age is loud. So daily practices like meditation or yoga can help you find that quiet center in the middle of the storm. And third, reframe how you see fear. Instead of letting it take over, see it as a messenger, just a little alarm bell telling you to get back to Dharma. Acknowledge it, but don't let it move in. And this is why all of this is so important, because the promise of the next age isn't just about getting through the tough times, it's about evolution. The ancient texts describe these coming ages, the Dwapara and Treta Yugas, as times when humanity starts to unlock these incredible dormant potentials. We're talking about things like telepathy, heightened intuition, a true mastery over energy, and even beginning to go beyond the limits of space and time as we know them. And this all leads us to the final and maybe the most powerful idea in this entire concept. It's about shifting our focus away from some external event happening to us in the future and toward an internal power that we can access right now. This quote says it all. For one with mental purity, it is always Satya Yuga. What this means is that the yugas aren't just these external time periods that we're helpless victims of. They are also states of consciousness. So by cultivating that inner purity, that compassion, that connection to truth, you as an individual can actually experience the harmony of the golden age, the Satya Yuga, right here and right now, no matter what chaos is swirling around outside. And so this ancient cosmology leaves us with a very modern and a very personal question. If it's true that our inner state can define our reality, then all the chaos of our time isn't just a challenge to be endured, it's an invitation to choose. So standing here, right at the messy, beautiful transition between one age and the next, what age are you choosing to live in?